For the start of February of 2025, we're back at it again at the Autumn Collection. First car we're here to be greeted by reception is the lovely Aston Martin Valkyrie, which is a whole road legal Formula 1 car for the road. So far, they actually got a very good, decent collection of cars. Two Carrera GTs is like very spectacular, but we're going to start off from this area first and proceed to go throughout down there. So starting at the front here, we basically got the Fast Chassis collection for the Octane collection, the Porsche Singer, the 964s, and even putting like the old Targa tops there too. This very lovely Porsche, I think it's a 973 or something like that, but this very lovely gloss white livery. But even though we're gonna look at the interior, you can see it's fully refurbished with a whole modern classic sort of steering wheel that they actually got it to, be installed. But although very nice, we got a Range Rover, which is quite nice. So to start the reception, we're going to start off here is their only hypercar, the Koenigsegg CCXR, but this one is the CCXR Super Pajora Gloss Carbon Edition. This is a one of two ever made, but this is the only one which is ever made in right-hand drive. But we're going to take a close look to it to show you the gloss carbon, which is fully lacquered, which is like the most perfect touch towards it. But this is like the most perfect ideal spec for a CCXR, but even though I wouldn't mind driving this car at all because it's all gloss carbon with these silver wheels, which is quite nice, with the center caps as well. And check out the interior, how it's basically all bordery within. It's fully refurnished with the red leather and the 6-speed manual transmission right there, which is also quite good. Looks like some people would not be a fan of this car, but the Carrera GT, so they got two similar ones, except this is more of a metallic black, and this was more like a metallic deep indigo towards it. But although they're very nice, a little part of detail about the Carrera GT, if you want to know, how it's basically got the red center caps there, and this one basically got the blue center caps here. But here's the twist. Well, I would basically tell you that all Carrera GTs come with this sort of feature, where they have the red center caps at the left side of the car, and meanwhile they basically got the blue center caps at the right side of the car, but they both do in fact got yellow brake calipers to basically keep it matched. See how it's literally like a beige sort of, how should I say, it's more like a mud, or should I say brick red sort of leather towards it. The infamous wood grain 6-speed manual transmission right there. But if we're going to take a look at this one, it's basically like my sort of favorite spec towards it, even though this one got the Georgie, the Porsche classic sort of, style for the leather seats. Well, also here, my favorite Porsche, the 991.2 GT3 RS, but I do believe this one is the YSEC RS edition, which is quite good. This is basically Porsche's version of Nardo Gray, but this is called Porsche Chalk Gray, which is the most overrated gray that you'll ever get to see on any other Porsche, including like the older versions like the 996s, Caymans, the Boxers and stuff, compared to like the new modern Porsches like the Taycans, the Cayennes, the Macans, and the Panameras. 997.2 GT3 RS. I do believe this could be the 4.0, but it looks like the regular 3.8 liter naturally aspirated flat 6, which is very nice. It's much more like a Nardo Gray, but sort of a darker tone to Nardo Gray. Gloss black wheels, yellow brake calipers, and the red index that stands for RS for the center. And talk about underappreciated version of the 997 series. This is the 911 997 GT3, which is the mid-range version to the RS right there. We also got another RS as well in this very lovely majestic orange, which I do love. But the 997s, which is basically the mid-range version where you want to get a RS, but a lot more cheaper towards this. This is more better as like a sort of beginner level or mid-range level of a Porsche that you want to get. Talk about a very rare gem, according to me. This is the 911 996 GT3 RS, but it could be the GT3 Cup, even though it says GT3 RS right there. But although the gloss white with the navy, well, I'm about to say navy blue, but it could be Laguna Seca blue, or should I say shark blue, which is quite good. It got the infamous Recaro bucket seats, even though it does say Recaro right above. Why the 996 Porsches get no love is because the way how the headlights are shaped. So when you think of Porsches, you mostly think as like the regular oval shaped headlights. But I mean, people don't really like the shape of these headlights. But to me, I have no issue. A Porsche is a Porsche at this point. If I have a very good Porsche itself, this is the 718 Cayman Boxer GT4 RS. But to make it shorter, this is the Porsche 718 Boxer RS, which is the Cayman GT4 RS. But instead of it being like a hard top, it's basically a soft top. You know the difference between the Cayman and a Boxer 718. Compare this is a Boxer because you could tell this is a manual top where you basically gotta adjust it by removing it by hand to tuck away within there. And these are the colder intakes to basically cool off the 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6 with BMW selection, including the Volkswagen over there. But first off, we're going to start off with this BMW Z8 AC Schnitzer, which is quite good. I'm not sure if these are like very rare, but I would consider it as like a rare gem. Two identical M3 E30 coupes. I do believe these are going for at least 300,000 to 500,000 pounds right now. But when you think about it, a BMW from the late 1980s kind of makes sense because the BMW fan base really love in time. This is the M3 E90 sedan, which is the E92, but this is more of a sedan version rather than the E92 coupe that was here the last time. But looking at it right now, it's like the most perfect, and I mean perfect of all time. Like the silver metallic flakes that it has is super ideal. The DMC Aero front lip and full gloss carbon, which is quite nice, and the CSL inspired E46 wheels, which is very nice. We got the Abarth 500 590 Quattro, which is quite good. And here, I should say, the most rarest Mercedes-Benz. I totally forgot what are these called, but I'll let you know. Mercedes-Benz 1000 SEC AMG Aston Martin DBS Volante is the absolute dream when you think about it. And next beside it, we basically got the most underrated Ferrari V12s of all time, the Ferrari FF. Even though people appreciate the pure Sanguis much more, but I appreciate the FFs with all of my heart and value in life. Ferrari FF is like the F12 Bernardino, but this is more of a grand touring vehicle. The main reason why people don't see it as like a proper Ferrari, which is the fact that, as I mentioned, it's a grand touring, so it essentially makes it more of a wagon. Just to let you know, this section right here, this is more like a grand touring, or should I say a wagon, or should I say saloon, or should I say a coupe version of a Ferrari F12 Bernardino. But this I appreciate a lot more because you could basically get the 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 Formula 1 engine. It does have the additional option to have it as all-wheel drive, however you want it to be. But although the best sounding, the best reliable, and the best enduring Ferrari V12 that you could get in the market right now, which is very good. Why am I filming this Vauxhall for? So back in the days in the 1990s, Vauxhall did a collaboration with Lotus to produce this. I forgot what it's called, but this is like the most illegal car to own back in the 1990s in the UK in general, because police cannot catch these. To let you know how, here we got the Volkswagen Golf GTI Mark 1, which is the first generation of the Golf GTIs compared to the 78th generation that they have right there. But next to it, we got the Maserati Gran Turismo M3 Stradale Coupe, which is very nice. That every girl obsessed to these because the sound of the 4.7-liter naturally aspirated crossbody V8. And next to it, we got the Porsche 911 997.1 Turbo S Coupe, which is very nice. Even though in the, how should I say, the European car scene, people appreciate the Golf GTI. Well, it's not even a GTI. Well, it is a GTI, but here is the example of the 911 996 Turbo, which is, I do believe this is the Turbo, or this could be the GT2. It's not an RS, but it is a regular GT2 996. Literal classic from the early 2000s, the 360 Modena Coupe which back in the days, including right now, this is like the most standard Ferrari that you could get right now for at least under 63,000 pounds to 78,000 right now in the market. And just about the fact that it does got the full beige interior, it's 308 GTB, but it could be the GTB Barchetta or could be the Alberta version, judging by how the roof looks. But I could be wrong again. But next to it, we got like my most favorite Ferrari Vito, the 599 GTB. But I do believe this could be the Fiorano edition, which is also very good. We got the Ferrari 360 Stradale Coupe, which is very nice. But this spec is like super good. The metallic black with the silver porcelain flakes that it does have, and the silverish wheels with the yellow brake calipers to match with the emblems is super nice. And next to it, we got the Lexus LFA in all gloss black, which is very nice, with the polished smoke black wheels, which is very nice. The 675 LT Coupe, which is right now my most favorite McLaren of all time, and I really do want to get one of these days. And last but not least, to finish it off, we got is the Ferrari 599 GTO, which is my most favorite Ferrari of all time, and I really appreciate them, and I want to get one of these days. To the XKRS, we basically got one of the most rarest Jaguars to see of all time. I know you may be wondering what it is. It looks like a Hot Wheels car because this is a fact is the Jaguar XJR15, which is right now going for at least 2.7 million pounds right now. To let you know, this is like the most rarest Jaguars you're ever going to see so far in your life. That concludes of Octane Collection of February of 2025. I will come back here somewhere about March or April to see what will be new in the showroom, or should I say somewhere about in May. But if there's only two cars I will pick from here, it will be that E90 M3, which is back there tucked away, that and could be the Carrera GT, but the 599 GTO that they have there, which is also very nice. And with that, that's it for 2025. And today we're here at Romans International to see what the now new, well, what's new in Roman Internationals. Start off here, we got the Ferrari Pure Sangue. It appears to be in Royal Navy Blue, which appears to be in a satin touch towards it with the all aluminum wheels, which is very nice. We got a 812 Competizione Coupe, which is very nice, in rows of Spirano, which is very nice. Although the satin black wheels are very good touch, titanium brake calipers, which is quite good, and the black brake pads, which is extra. Here too, we basically got this very lovely 992 GT3 RS. It appears to be in all metallic silver, even though it does got the blue flakes towards it, but this is actually more like a metallic silver when you think about it, which is quite nice. We got a 488 Pista Coupe, which is very nice, and is very lovely metallic silver as well. Except that silver is March of 2025, and today we're going to start off at some random car meet in Sid Cup. As usual, we got BMWs galore, BMW galore. One like 135i's, 140s, this lovely M5 E60, which is very nice in a very metallic indigo paint, which is quite nice. G80 M4 competition on nearby say M3, and another 140i 5-door hatchback. Not a fan of these. Here we got an F83 M4, could be a competition. He does got the CS package wheels, which is quite nice, with a very lovely yellow paint, which is quite good. F82 M4, also nice. G87 M2, the newest and latest edition. It's got a regular, I think there's a regular 335 or 330 Touring, and an E90. Well, I say E90, but this is an F80 M3. This very lovely F82 M4 competition, but the paint itself, I forgot what it's called, but this is like a limited edition sort of paint for the G82 M4. In the middle of March of 2025, and today we're back at it again at Joel Macari's. First thing we're greeted here is the Jaguar E-Type Lightweight, which is very nice. It is very lovely gloss sky blue. Also here, look at that, Audi R6 Avant, very nice. Aston Martin 177, this is one of 77 ever named, the namesake said so itself. Inside reception, we got this very lovely Ferrari F12 TDF. If you do or don't know, TDF, which is the acronym for Tour de France, which competed back in the days. Analyze the interior, how it's all suede with Alcantara, like the light gray Alcantara that looks similar to Nardo Gray. I do believe this is a tailor-made spec, even though there's a plaque right there which indicates that there and it is a tailor-made spec. But harnesses, which is very nice, and the whole matte carbon, which is quite nice with the red trim. Within the reception area, we basically got the Ferrari 306, or I forgot what it's called, but Ash will indicate down below to let you know. But we also got this Ferrari, I forgot what's it called, and the Exterminate, which is quite nice. But now we're going to start off with the main roller cars here, starting off with this very lovely Ferrari LaFerrari, which all appears to be in all gloss or metallic black with the satin black wheels, which is quite nice with the black brake calipers, and the beige interior, which is quite nice. Look, no, it's actually metallic black. Okay, not gloss black, but although very nice spec. And finally, the time I ever going to see this in person, this is the McLaren F1 LMGTR FINA. This is the infamous FINA that used to compete back in the GT1 touring days back in the late, well, not even late, but late 1990s to the early 2000s. Here we got the infamous Aston Martin Valkyrie, but no other Valkyrie. But this is the infamous Alamo Spider, which is very nice. You may think to yourself it's actually black, but close look to it, it's actually all exposed gloss purple carbon with the gold trim flakes embedded within it, and that is actual gold, which is quite nice. The owner himself told me that this car is worth nearly 7.2 to 8.6 million pounds right now, which is incredible. Within the Ferrari selection, the 265 GT Lusso, which is very nice in the all metallic blue. Also here we got one of the most very expensive Ferraris, the 250 GT California, the Ferrari 275 Lusso, which is quite good, the Aston Martin DBS Volante, which is quite good, the 812 Superfast Coupe that appears to be in Giallo Orion paint, which is kind of an interesting spec when you think about it. Maserati MC12, which is the Ferrari Enzo in disguise, which is a lot more better. Ferrari Roma Spider, which is the new latest debut for the Roma. Lamborghini Miura SB, another Ferrari 250 GT California. Jaguar E-Type lightweight at the back. We also got, I think this is the Ferrari, I forgot what's it called again. And we also got the old Kenworth Porsche, which is very nice in the GT1 era. And teddy bears. This car does have rear seats, but the thing about it, I sat in a regular base model Roma, I said the hard top coupe. The rear seats sitting at the rear of these are absolutely uncomfortable, knowing the fact that I'm 5'10". Sitting at the rear of this, like you barely even get enough leg room. Even if you have a person that's way more shorter to sit in front of you, it's not that pleasant to, sit at the rear of these. So if you want to get a Roma, never use the rear seats at all. 812 Superfast looks in Giallo Orion metallic yellow, which is so perfect because you never see any 812s that look like this in person, but this has got to be the first ever time ever seen an 812 in Giallo Orion paint, which is actually a Lamborghini color if you do want to know. But yeah, Giallo Orion paint, gloss black wheels, which is quite nice. It does got the 20K option titanium brake calipers, which is quite nice. Well, brake pads. But for the interior, it does got the Scuderia, well, not Scuderia bucket seats, but these are the regular Squadra comfort seats and the gloss carbon there on the inlet. If the camera could focus there, but gloss carbon, which is quite nice. The things that you don't know about the Maserati MC12. This is literally the Ferrari Enzo. Like everything about it, the engine, transmission, the drivetrain about it, is literally same exact as a Ferrari Enzo. Carry out from the MC12, we got the Ferrari 308 GT Barcella, which is quite nice in this navy blue, which is quite good. I forgot what's this called, but there's Pink Panther in the riding passenger. Another Jaguar E-Type, and probably the most rarest Ferrari model classic, the 575 Super Americana, which is quite a good spec. The beige interior, well, tan interior, with this very lovely metallic silver paint, and with the silver chrome alloy wheels with the yellow brake calipers, which is quite good. Now to the main car that I came here just to see, this McLaren F1 GT-LM. Well, not any other regular one. This one particularly that you're looking at is a full road legal spec McLaren F1. Knowing the fact that these are right now in the market going for at least 20 million, this could possibly be about 36 million. And here we basically got a very good example of the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta. Fun fact, they never produced these as a Spider or an Alberta version of these, but if I ever do got a chance to own one, I'll probably will convert it to a whole Alberta. Right here we basically got a good example of a clean, authentic spec Ferrari Dino, but never see these in blue before within my most favorite Ferrari touring car ever made, the GTC4 Lusso, which is exactly like the 812 Superfast over there, but more of a touring type. So instead of being a two-seater, it's a four-seater, and this time you could sit at the rear of the seats and they're absolutely comfortable for my height. So literally the same thing, but instead this is all-wheel drive and it still features the 6-liter naturally aspirated Formula 1 V12 with the 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which is quite nice. Porsche purists, you may know the Porsche 959, which is literally the holy trinity of the 1980s. But this, and I forgot the two other cars, but I'll let you know. But this 959 gloss white with the gloss white wheels, so it's a white on white spec with the black brake calipers, and appears that it got the titanium brake disc, which is quite good. And for the interior, it's all not Alcantara, but full leather. But even though the camera barely even picks it up, but it's more like a silverish blue, and the 5-speed manual transmission and a very outdated steering wheel that they mostly come with. And also we got my most favorite Ferrari, well, modern day favorite Ferrari, the 296 GTS. Even though I love the GTBs more, but the GTS you gotta appreciate them more. It's Giorgio metallics flakes within it, the standard wheels as they come with, but the interior, it does got the Scuderia Fiorano bucket seats, which is quite comfy for the long run. I told you basically get sick of them. And with that, that concludes of Joe Macari's of March of 2025. But if there's only 3 cars, I might as well pick from the whole lot: F12 TDF, Ferrari LaFerrari, and last but not least, the McLaren F1 LM, which is right there. But for second options, 812 Superfast, GTC4 Lusso, and probably the Aston Martin 177. And that's a European Prestige on March of 2025. And the first thing we got here is this very lovely McLaren 750S Coupe, which appears to be in a very nice metallic Nardo gray that has a very similar like orange flake to it, even though I love the spec. Right next to it, we got a 765 LT Coupe, which is quite nice, and it's very lovely silver, which I love the most. Also here we got the two 675 LT Spiders, which is quite nice. This spec I love the most. Also here too, we got the BMW M4 GTS, which is quite good. Nissan Skyline R34 V-Spec 2 MR, which is quite nice. We also got the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 6 and an E46 M3 CSL, which is quite nice, and an E36 M3 in a very nice pristine condition. The E46 M3s, but going to start off with this one. This one is the base offer E46 M3. This one is the E46 M3 Competition to Competition Sport, and then you got the E46 M3 Competition Sport Lightweight or CSL. It's nice to see this Porsche again. This is a 991.2 GT3. It's like a GT3 RS, speaking of which I got 2 of them right there, but this one particularly used to go to the same college as I do, which is quite amazing. 992 GT3 in the infamous Shark Blue, which is like the presentation spec to it. Another 992 GT3 in the very infamous Porsche Chalk Gray, which I love the most. And right here we got my all-time favorite GT3 RS, the 991.1 GT3 RS in the infamous ultraviolet purple, which is like the most rarest color ever made for this specific type of Porsche. And then right here we got a 991.2 GT3 RS, but this is not a white sec package, but this is the infamous lizard green. If you could tell, these are literally 991 GT3 RSs, except this is a 991.1, this is a 991.2. Presentation as it first ever came out, and the facelift, which is literally the same. Both of these cars are literally the same. And next to it we got is the new one, the 992 GT3 RS, which is very nice and it's very lovely silver. Lamborghini Revuelto, it appears to be in a Verde Geo color, I'm pretty much sure this is Verde Geo or Verde Ispra. I might as well put the paint description to let you know. But although very nice, the 2005 Ford GT second generation, nostalgia at its finest, and next to it we got the new Ford GT, which would have been better if they would stick to the V8 platform, but the V6 hybrid does in fact makes it better. Right here we got two Mercedes-Benz, but not any type of Mercedes-Benz. These are SL65 Black Series, which are the most rarest versions of the SL class as you will get back in the times. Right here we got the Mercedes AMG GTR Pro Track Series, which is literally an AMG GTR to the GTR Pro in the new AMG GT Black Series, but it's fully as a GT4 car, so it's literally a race car. Anyways, you know about the Aston Martin Vanquish Legatos. This is the coupe and that's the Volante. To let you know, if you don't know what I mean, hard top, roof that comes down. I love the interior to that, which is very lovely. But although I love the blue with the gold trim, I very much love. Compared to this, the red makes it a lot more, how should I say, an elegant spec, which I love. Here we got the Ferrari GTC4 Lusso, but no other Lusso. This is the tailor-made 70th Anniversary Edition, but the panel right there says 70th Anniversary, which is quite nice. The Bernetta still here for at least a whopping 2 years, but these are not going for in the market for nearly 130,000, which is quite good. We got 1, 2, 3, 296 GTBs, but this one's a GTB, but those two are GTSs. But this one is the tailor-made Fiorano package, which is like everything in the checklist fully checked out. So this is like a high-end spec to the 296 GTB, which I first ever saw back in 2022, which I managed to sat in, which is quite nice. It's like this SF9 Stradale, which I love. A12 Competizione Coupe, which I do love myself. And we also got a 599 GTO. F430 Scuderia 18M Alberto, which is quite nice. And also here we got the 4A Pista, Pagani Huayra BC Roadster, Aston Martin GT12, which is quite nice, and a Bugatti Chiron at the back and a Veyron and the AMG Project 1, which is very nice. Honest opinions about the AMG Project 1, I love these so much, but this is my first ever time ever seeing one in person, and all that I have to say, I like it. Next to it, we got the Huayra BC Roadster, which is my first ever time ever seeing one. This one is the presentation spec, which I do love. We got the infamous Bugatti Veyron. I think this is the Hermes edition, which is quite nice. With a Chiron Per Sport underneath the covers there. We also got this very interesting spec to the Bugatti Chiron, which we're going to check out. Lovely spec to this Bugatti Chiron. This is a base offer. I believe this is a Chiron Sport because you could tell because it says 16 at the grille there. Normally for 16s, these are reference to the Bugatti Chiron Sports, as I mentioned, to the 16th anniversary for the Bugatti lineup. And for the cars there, you want to know, they're just regular traffic, except for the 575 Marina, which is quite nice. But although a very decent lineup of cars, if there's only 3 cars I might as well pick from the showroom, it has to go to the 901.1 GT3 RS in ultraviolet purple, the 765 LT, which is quite nice, and last but not least, has to be the SL65 Black Series, one of them, probably the Gunjet Metal Grey or the Lamborghini Revuelto, and although that has to conclude for European Prestige of March of 2025. So we're back at it again of VBS UK of March of 2025, or the end of March 2025. We come to the C3 Pacific cars, but anyways, as usual, we're going to start from here and we're going to start away from there and to there and for to conclude. We got the usual, the AC Cobra 427, even though this is like a perfect replica, but I still appreciate it. The Porsche Cayman, not even 718 GT4, but just a regular GT4. The latest arrival, the Porsche Cayman 718 GT4 RS, appears to be in Nardo Grey, which is quite nice, and the Porsche 911 991.2 Speedster, which is very nice, with the 6-speed manual transmission, because they got a very nice Aston Martin V12 Vantage S, which is very nice in this deep metallic British racing green. And also next to it, the latest arrival, the C8 Corvette convertible, I believe this is the 2LT package because the way how it looks, and normally it would be a 2LT package because it would have the different set of wheels, but even though it could be a 1LT package, but I'll stick to it. And next to it, we got is the Ford Escort RS Cosworth, which is very nice. And talk about another rare gem, the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish Zagato GT Coupe, which is very nice. Knowing in the market, they're going for at least $1 million. Next to it, we got is the Mercedes-AMG GTC convertible, which is quite nice. My most favorite Audi here, the Audi RS4 Avant Wagon Apt R, which is very nice, and how rare these are is very incredible. And here we basically got 4 Ferraris, 2 458 Italias, but this is a coupe which is very nice in this gloss white, which is quite good, and also 458 Spider, which is very nice. Also, we have a 488 GTB, appears to be in metallic silver. It's a very decent spec with the red interior, which is okay. And the Ferrari A12, F12 Berlinetta, which is quite nice. Here we basically got the holy trinity of the early 2000s, the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. I might as well tell you about the features already, but if you watched the previous video, you would know. And next to it, we have is, how should I say, it's like an honorable mention of a dream Aston Martin that I do want to get in real life. Aston Martin DBS Superleggera, which stands for super light in Italian. So everything about it is like very outdated, but I still appreciate these. And now we're going to move on to the Lamborghini selection, which is BBS is well known for. And checking out right now, they got like a good selection of Lamborghinis. Both Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggeras, but to wonder which one is which. This one is the first generation Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera, which actually has the best sounding V10 engine ever made. A 5.0 liter naturally aspirated 401 V10 engine with a 6-speed single clutch 401 e-gear transmission. And next to it, we basically got is the second generation to the Superleggera. This is the 570-4 Superleggera, which is the 5.2 liter that features ongoing continuous to the Lamborghini Huracan that both share the same 5.2 liter V10s, except this is a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, and this is the 6-speed single clutch transmission. Next to the Lamborghini Gallardo Spider, well, first generation Spider, we have is the Lamborghini Aventador SV Roadster, which is very nice in this blue. I think it's called Blue Ontario with the red interior, red trim interior with the red brakes and the red center lock cap. But the interior itself is quite modest, but even sorry to let you know, this is not the 5.0 liter one, this is the 5.2 liter one Lamborghini Gallardo Spider, which is very nice. This is to the main attraction that I came all the way for are these 3 Mercy SVs. This one particularly, the Orancio Atlas, is like my all-time dream spec, and everything about it is day, set, goal, endgame dream. But next to it is the latest arrival. This one is basically is a Scuderia tailor-made spec because it does features the harnesses, if you barely could see. And this one, I believe it is chassis number 76 if it appears on camera, even though it's blurry, but you already know. That one is the BBS's one, which I sat in already, but I want to see what's it like to be within this one with the harnesses. So comment down below which one would you rather go for, the yellow one, or so I say highlighted yellow, the very dark bluish one like navy blue, or the orange one. But to me, it has to be this one because this is the latest one that they now have. That concludes a VBS of March of 2025. If there's only 3 cars I'd rather pick from this whole selection, obviously it has to be the orange Mercy SV and the 718 GT4 RS, and last but not least the F12 Berlinetta, which is very nice. And with that, that's it.